Well, hello, fellow reversionists. How are you all today? It is, golly, what is that? I guess it's Sunday. I guess it's Sunday. We're getting ready to go out and see the air show out at in Gardner, Kansas, New Century Airport. The Blue Angels are going to be flying out there, and Kelly and the kids always enjoy that, and I enjoy being with them. So did you catch last night that Trump is running? Did you hear him say it? Probably most people didn't. Probably most people are warning. Now, did he really say it or didn't he say it? That's a question, but I think he did. Because, and I don't remember what part of the speech it was, but he said, I will do something. Now, instead of I would. I would, that means in case I'm in there. I will means that, you can't say I will do something unless you're in the position of doing it. That indicates to me that he is going to run. Now, could that be a sleight of hand with Trump? You never know. Could it be a misspoken word? It could be, but usually, Trump doesn't. He's people think he's all over the place and saying things that that maybe he doesn't mean, but I think he says everything for a purpose. He's a smart guy. He has always been a smart guy. He has always been, except for a couple of things. I mean, he made some mistakes that a lot of us couldn't believe he made. He surrounded himself with a bunch of traitors and backstabbers, but maybe that's all he had to choose from. We don't know. And he didn't get rid of them in time. And we know all of that kind of thing. But he also came from a background that kind of insulated himself from knowing the insides of the political animal, the swamp. But he's a smart guy. And I think that he uses, he talks about a lot of things, and he wraps things, he wraps a mystery and an enigma and a this or that for a purpose. He's been a business guy all of his life, and he didn't get everything accomplished by being stupid. So I believe that he put that word will in there on purpose. Okay. Can I guarantee it? No, I can't guarantee it, but I'll give you 98.5%. Okay. Why else do I think that he is, and what supports this, in my opinion, that he is running? Well, all the time and money and effort that he has spent backing candidates on this off-year election, and he has done a good job. So far, we've seen the effects in the primaries. The vast majority, and I don't have the figures in front of me, but the vast majority of the people that he supported won their primaries. Now, why is he doing that? And we will see. We'll see here in a couple of months whether, the vast majority of the people that he supports in the off-year election win the election. That's coming up. Why is he doing this? Why would he care? Well, you can spin all kinds of possibilities, but I think in this case the easiest is usually the answer, and that is the only reason that he would care about having those people in Congress, and not just in Congress, but in the state houses and the governorships and all this. Because realize, he could stop all this, and he said this, and I think he's right. He could stop all this coming against him by doing one thing, and that is saying that he will not run again and making a deal in the background. And it could be done. He can do it. He could do that. He could take all of these problems away by doing that. But he hasn't done it. So he is building his base so that when he gets in again, and hopefully he will, and I'll say right now, I am not a believer in Q or anonymous or any of that. I am not a believer in that. As a matter of fact, I have some words of caution about that maybe I'll put in another one. But I got I'll get back to what I was talking about in a minute, but this is the way my mind works. As many of you know, I got a message on Telegraph from a group in which I I won't say that I'm involved because I don't contribute to it, but it's a group that I stay a member because I like to hear the information that's coming through there, right? And everyone should do something like that with a number of groups. And it was talking about the background music that was playing at his rally. And I guess one was named, what is that slogan? I forget. I know. I think I know what it is. Where we go one, we go all. I think that's, and so I don't remember if the person was saying that's the name of that song, or was it WWG1 WG. Is that it? Okay, I'm not up on this. They said that, and then they said that the storms or the drums, I don't remember exactly what, in the background of it was from a song from or called or something, QAnon. You know, I don't know. I can't say to that. That was an aside that came into my mind. I am not a believer in that particular thing. As a matter of fact, I think that it's very possibly a counterintelligence program. So I'll just leave it at that. And I warn people against getting too wrapped up in that. But he does want the support when he gets back in. He wants those people to owe him. One of the problems that he had in his first term, he didn't have a lot of people that owed him. I mean, I think that he thought that government was as clean as business, which means only real dirty. Well, business isn't that dirty. People think that it is. But if you don't keep your word, nobody will do business with you. So it's not the backstabbing place that a lot of people seem to think it is. You have to do your job. You have to put out your product. You have to do what you say. If you don't do it, nobody's going to deal with you. And so I think he came from that kind of background that when people, and not that he wasn't a tough negotiator, but that simply means, hey, I'm pushing for what I want, and if I don't get the deal that I want, I'm gone. Simple as that. I mean, if you're a good business person, you know that. And so I believe that, that was his main experience. And his experience with politicians was giving them money, And as a result of his donations to them, Steve, he gave to Democrats. Yes, I know. Come on, man, says Joe. Come on. We know that. Business people give to both sides. I'll tell you, and I've said it before, I won't say it here, I'll tell you what an old mafia guy told me, but that goes over on Patreon, over on integrative preparedness. They give to both sides, and you know what they get as a result of donations? They get friendship. They get access. They get the agreed upon response. That's business. When he got into government, he thought probably that when he gave people these jobs, when he assigned them, attorney general, this, that, and the other thing, that they would be loyal to him as a natural response to him giving them that job and opportunity. He didn't realize what snakes they are. And I think he does now. So what he's building now, in my opinion, is he is building a huge base of people. On top of those who like him and support him anyway, he's building a huge number of people who owe him. And in politics, that's what it's all about. It's who owes you. I don't know why anybody would want to be a politician. It's okay to own a politician or rent one, and I'll talk more about that. Not sure. This is probably more, again, for Integrated Preparedness Patreon, but it's good to have control of the politicians, But so it's that's how it's done. He needs people to owe him, and I think that's what he's doing. We're going to find out in a couple of months here how it's going. But notice that he hasn't backed up a bit, which isn't his way. It's not Trump's way to back up at all. He hadn't backed up a bit. He is still fighting. And I'm sure there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that none of us will ever know. It's got to be interesting, right? It's got to be interesting. But anyway, that's my opinion. That's my take. I believe he is running. And I would suggest that those who are supporters of Trump become more vocal and more solid in their support of him right now. Start right now. And let this kind of be an impetus for you to put a little more energy into carrying the message of how this country should be taken back. See the cap, take America back. And of course, we say that, and all of you know, and all of you reversionists, anybody who's here that isn't, we are reversionists. Okay, what does reversion mean? It means taking it back to the way that it used to be, based after my first book, The Reversion, where the whole world collapses, and then by necessity it goes back to the way that it used to be, and then good people rebuild from the ashes. I didn't have my books down here right now, but I'll say remember that this is brought to you by the Stonemont series, my books. It's a way that you can support the channel because, I support the channel, and if you buy my books, you not only learn a lot, you enjoy a great story that you will believe in. You'll be introduced to a world that you'd rather live in than the one you live in now, probably. And you help support the channel. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, we have a way you can do that, and that is by becoming a member over on our Patreon channel. The links to both the Patreon channel and how to get the books, either through Amazon or from me directly, is down below. But please support us if you are so led. We thank you for it. And the way you can do that, join the Patreon. There are several different... Are there several different layers? I think there are. There are several different levels that allow you to choose at what level you'd like to support us. We thank everyone, regardless of the level they choose. We thank you for your support. So those are my thoughts. I think he's running. For those of you, I interrupted myself with my little commercial there. For those of you who aren't sure about Trump and aren't sure about what's going on. And I say that because I hope that all of you will share this video with people that you know. Look into it. Don't believe what people who don't like him tell you. Okay? Don't believe the detractors. Now you also have to be, careful of people that are just off the wall in support of anyone. I mean, double check them too. But do your own research and find out how does this align with what I believe in. Do your research, because whether you want to call it MAGA, whether you want to call it reversionism, no matter what you call it, the time for your support is now. Not waiting until right before the next presidential election, but now, because all this time that we have is time to talk with people, influence people, try to gain more people onto our side so that we can win honest elections. And if you've been keeping up and you see all the laws that have been passed at certain states and all the court rulings, you'll see, this is for the benefit those who say voting doesn't matter, you will see that a lot of things are going our way. Okay? That's it. I think he's running. It's going to be an interesting couple of months. It's going to be an interesting 2 years. But get in the fight now. Get in the fight with the rest of us now, will you? And remember, America needs a reversion in both reality and the book. And it needs you to be a part of it along with me and everybody else. So thank you. You all have a great day. I'm going to go out and watch the Thunderbirds fly around, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.